Ah, you thought I was going to be playing movie and TV games this whole time. But no, we're going to get into Brands 2 with No Fear Downhill Mountain Biking. A pretty strange PlayStation 1 game, I'll give you that. Actually, I realised I bought this a few years ago and I only just opened it and found that the manual for this game had a sheet. I'm going to have to grab it because I can't even remember what the name of the game was. A sheet from the instructions for Snow Racer 98. So whoever owned this previously to me was a big fan of extreme sports, it would seem. Anyway, this is a downhill cycling game brought to you by the people from No Fear. And actually brought to you by Unique Development Studios, who were, I was just doing some reading about them, they're based in Sweden. And I was looking through their list of games, I didn't recognise anything other than Airfix Dogfire, which I need to find a copy of because that sounds amazing. And they worked on the PlayStation 2 game Futurama, which actually is another one that's interesting. Let's focus on this. So, just in case you were wondering if this game was made in the 90s, here is the most 90s set of people, including Tony with an I, Nathan, Marlon. These are all very 90s names. Oh, with Rosa, she says that she's got the most sass. So yeah, it's essentially like almost like Sega Rally style driving game, but with the added benefit of being on a bicycle. I can't change any of this stuff, can I? No. Let's get cracking. So yeah, it's point-to-point racing. There's tricks, I think. Actually, one thing I haven't done is turn the analog mode on. Oh, it's just like a one-on-one. Oh, the analog mode doesn't even work anyway. How old is this game? Oh! let's restart that. That's a bad start. It does say analog controller compatible on the back. Did I turn it on? Analog mode's on. That's a shame actually, because the digital control is not brilliant. I did, however, just find out what the jump button was by accident. Or I guess I used the brake button too haphazardly. So the idea is that you need to conserve your energy, which is the bar down the bottom right. So you kind of pedal for a little bit and then do some braking. And then you do some braking. Ah! Jesus Christ. Might be restarting this again in a minute. You effectively want to use gravity to do the work for you. And only pedal when you need to. It's kind of interesting because you would never... Most racing games are not about kind of conserving your energy. Because you're not the person who's actually exerting the energy to do it, you know. You don't have race car drivers who go and have a break, have a nap. Controls are a little bit fussy. The steering in particular is very stiff. Oh, that guy's miles ahead. Oh, why is Yorkshire so windy? So why are all these houses on mud tracks? It's almost like they haven't been to Yorkshire before. Yeah, this isn't... I know it's not the same type of game, because Dave Mirra is more of a trick game than a race game. God, he slaughtered me. But Dave Mirra, I feel like, is more fluid of a game. Oh, I don't want to watch the replay of that. Game over already. Can we try again, please? I'll try my best this time. It was only on amateur as well. This game did come out in '99, so yeah, it's right in that sort of. I think Dave Mirra was maybe a little bit later than that, around that sort of same time. But yeah, it's mountain bikes versus BMXs, very different sort of thing. Let's go again. I like the fact the leg goes up and down if you accelerate and don't accelerate. Whoa! That D-pad is going to be the death of me. Just want to brake here. That seems more like it. I don't know whether you can kind of brake and then pedal around the corner. Oh, you can. Ah! Sort of use the corners to crash around. I was never very good at this game. I just found the fussiness of pedaling and braking tricky to get my head around. Also, keep on the track is important as well. As soon as you start going off on the grass, it is bad news. Oh, my energy bar is rough a minute. Come on, I'm gonna catch her up. Nope, that's the end of the match, isn't it? Well, it was a nice start. Let's go and play on some of the other maps. It's one of those games I never figured out if I'm just really bad at it or if it just is quite difficult to perfect the controls. So there is kind of multiplayer modes, but I'll have to stick to single race. Let's try a different character. Go Henry with an I. So 90s. Telegraph Hill. I think it's the San Francisco track. Yeah, there you go. I hope there's a ramps that I can jump on. Oh, that pop-in. It's glorious. Oh, break! Get out of it. Yeah, this course is a lot more windy already. Why is the cars just parked everywhere? Or is that the extreme part? I think you're going to need a new bike after that. He's running out of energy. Somebody give him some sort of Monster branded energy drink. Actually, I think No Fear made their own energy drink at one point. I seem to remember it tasting alright. You know, for all that energy I need. Hey, I won a match! I never really understood the racing games that would make you say, here's a replay! Oh no, I just did this 75 seconds ago. Let's do a new race. Let's try Wattsman Pier. Or Path. Can't read. A pier would be much more interesting for cycling. Just see a bunch of extreme mountain bikists falling into the sea. That'd be good. So I wonder if amateur just relates to the difficulty of the AI, or if it actually means the path that you take. Considering that all these loading screens have multiple paths. I wonder if that means what it means by having multiple trails on the back of the box. That depending on which difficulty you pick, depends on which trail you get to use. See, maybe I'm misremembering this, but I kind of remember this game being not particularly well received. Maybe it's just the particular magazines that I was reading at the time that didn't like it. Who knows? But the graphics are nothing to shout home about. There's a lot of pop-in. I think the scenery is pretty rough looking. The crowd doesn't look particularly brilliant, but now that I'm getting used to the controls, they're still fussy, but they're not overly bad. Again, this game is 17 years old. But I can give it a pass for some bad crowd textures. I want to try a different difficulty then. I quit out. Come back in again. I think I can set a different difficulty. Single race. Let's go Marlon. Oh, hang on. Do I have to unlock the other difficulties? Yes, I do. Well, never mind. I guess we won't be looking at the other difficulties. Oh, it's always infuriating in these games. Just let me play with the... Especially in a quick play match. Just let me play all of the tracks. Don't make me unlock them. This feels like busy work at that point. Things I haven't noted so far, though. The 90s techno. There's very little of it. There's no music in game. Just menus. It's quite bare bones. Although there's, championship mode and single player mode, they are... Whoa! You know, full-on physics freak out. There isn't a whole lot to this. Oh. Cheater. What are those people doing on top of that building? Really? Oh, come on. Oh, there you go. Well, that's No Fear downhill mountain biking extreme sports extravaganza. No Fear, sponsored by No Fear. It's kind of intriguing. It doesn't hold up. I don't think this was particularly brilliant at the time either. It seems like one of those racing games that, especially that nowadays, would not fly because there's not enough to it. Even if there's 6 tracks with 3 different difficulties, that's not enough. That's maybe an afternoon's worth of work, unless you have to spend 3 days perfecting the controls, which, considering how I'm doing, may be true. Possibly I'm just crap at it. I don't know. But yeah, that's about as much of No Fear as I can take. And don't worry, there'll be more brand games coming. Just have to find some first. They seem to be rarer than the movie and TV cash-ins. I think there was a certain era when brands were getting very excited about having PlayStation games with their brand on them. But yeah, we'll find some more. Don't worry.